Hey everybody, Dr. Keith here. Hope you're having an amazing day. Today we just got a really brief hangout here. We're going to talk about vitamin D and omega-3, two things that hopefully you're already taking. If you're not taking them, you're going to need to start. We're going to talk about why that is. You've probably heard things about vitamin D and omega-3 before, fish oil, things like that. But we're going to really just talk about some of the basic things of why everybody should be taking it. And so what we'll talk about at first is what is an essential nutrient. And so the definition of an essential nutrient is any substance that must be obtained from the diet because the body cannot make it in a sufficient quantity to meet its needs. And this can be a variety of things. This is most foods that you're hopefully eating, because hopefully you're eating good foods. This isn't just a supplement thing, but a supplement that you should be taking are essential supplements. There's only really going to be a few of them, and those are going to be things that you can't get in your diet with reasonable change. And so tonight we're just going to be talking about two of those. We're going to be talking about omega-3 and vitamin D. So we'll talk a little bit about omega-3 first. And the reason you want that it's important is because you want a ratio that is good. So you want a ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 that is pretty much balanced. It's either between 1 to 1, 1 to 2. But currently, most Americans have quite a different level. Most are going to be around 1 in 20, is what most research shows. There's many individuals that are even higher than that. And when that imbalance gets that great, we see all kinds of different problems, mostly related to kind of inflammatory things. And you've probably heard that chronic inflammation is bad and stuff like that. Well, the chronic inflammation itself isn't bad. It's the reason why the chronic inflammation is bad. So, and this is just one of the reasons. There's all kinds of reasons that that level could be off. But remember, we want that level to be around 1 to 1, 1 to 2, and you're not going to have a lot of those problems then. And that's historically what humans have had, is around that ratio. And so we've had that for most of our existence. And so we want to maintain those levels because that's what our body wants. That's what our body needs. It functions way better when those levels are like that. And you're going to see all kinds of anti-inflammatory things from that. But that's the normal state that your body should be in. Your body isn't designed to be in a chronic state of inflammation. So it's not that you're going to be in an anti-inflammatory state. You're actually going to be in the normal state that your body is supposed to be. And so, with all kinds of different conditions, you're going to see huge improvements. Certainly, arthritises, specifically, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, just to name a few, that you can see humongous changes when you start balancing out those levels. But you can see it in all kinds of different things. One of the things that's really important with anything, but especially supplements, is because it's not regulated as well, is you want to make sure that they're really high quality. And there's ways that you can make sure that they're high quality. You can get different tests from the manufacturers to make sure they're getting tested by other people, not just by themselves. But the simple test, if you are taking a fish oil at home, that we always have people do is, if you're taking it in capsule form, is to bite into it, because if you bite into it and it tastes like fish, it's spoiled. So it might just be spoiled, but it might just be a bad supplement. If it's brand new and it tastes like that, that's not a good sign. So it's a really simple test to kind of see if it's good or bad. It's not the only test. Just because it tastes okay doesn't mean it's going to necessarily be amazing for you, the best supplement you can get, but it certainly is a good starting point, at least something really simple you can go do right now. So, what these are fats, and it's really important for all different parts of your body, but specifically for your brain. And so your brain is made a lot of fat, mostly of fat. And so we see a lot of improvement with all kinds of different neurologic conditions as well. So these could be more developmental conditions. So, ADD, ADHD, different developmental things when you're younger, or even more neurologic kind of conditions people can develop once you start replacing when the cells start replacing and they have what they need, they're going to be functioning better. And so it's really important for all conditions. And, since this is an essential nutrient, and vitamin D we'll talk about in the same way, we're not going to take it specifically to try to cure a specific condition that we have or whatnot. You're going to be taking it because it's your body needs a certain level of it, or ratio in this case. And so it's important to do it for that reason. And that's why you don't want to wait until you start having problems. You don't want to wait till your kids start having problems. This is something that we know you need a specific ratio, and so you need to be making sure that that it's more in the 1 to 1, 1 to 2. And historically, obviously, we didn't take omega-3 supplements, but we ate better food. Mainly, we didn't eat any processed food, which can have a lot of omega-6, and we ate a lot of free-roaming animals. And so the free-roaming animals are going to have that ratio, and especially when we eat the organs and things like that, we're going to get a much better balance of that. And so, certainly you can, get healthier meats nowadays, and but you're still probably going to need to take some type of supplement of it. Just the way everything is today, you're not going to eat as perfect as we need to. But it's for both of these, it's really important to understand that if this isn't something like you take a week or two, and if you don't feel any differences, then you're going to stop. The minimum that you're going to take it to see results, which isn't what you're trying to do, but the minimum you're going to take it is 3 months. It takes at least 90 days to kind of get into the cell. And this is also true for vitamin D as well. But sometimes it can even take longer. So even to kind of get the ratios that starts changing, when we talk about vitamin D, the levels kind of go up. It's going to take, at least that 90 days, maybe 180 days, maybe even longer, depending on what your levels are when you start, and how healthy you are in your diet, and in a multitude of factors. So with vitamin D, it's interesting because there's been tons of research on it in the last, we'll say 10 years approximately. And what's interesting is they found a receptor on most cells. And so it's really important for all kinds of things. And again, it's an essential thing. And with vitamin D, you're obviously supposed to get it mostly from the sun. And so if you're going to, I still would highly recommend that you go into the sunlight, as often as you can, depending on where you live. Obviously in the winter, if you're in cold weather, it's not going to do much for you. You probably have a lot of clothes on. And so you're not going to necessarily get it that way. And that's one of the reasons, even if you're living, in a warmer climate, you're probably in the air conditioning, you're working all day, you're not going to be able to go outside when during the day when you can actually produce the vitamin D. And if you're, in a lot of women's cosmetics, there's sunscreens, and sunscreens are going to block that production. And so it's not going to be producing it like you need it. And same thing with vitamin D. It can help with all kinds of things because it's an essential nutrient. And so you need it so your body can function optimally, because when you're functioning optimally, your body functions better and you don't have all these problems going on. It's the normal state is health, remember. But you're going to see decreases with inflammation when these levels level out. General aches and pains, same as omega-3, they're going to come down. Chronic pain, huge thing. Both of these with fibromyalgia kind of things come down. We find deficiencies in most people with kind of chronic pains, kind of chronic back pains, things like that. And even from like a sports performance perspective, there's increases in performance when these levels are there, because your body needs them to function optimally. And so if you're not going to have it there, then you're not going to be performing as well. From a supplement standpoint for vitamin D, there's two main ones you can get. One is D2, one is D3. D2 is you're going to only actually be able to get from prescription. And unfortunately, this is still kind of given out. You have to take it in super high doses because it's not utilized as well. And it's not really the active form as well. So D3 is, number one, cheaper. It works better. And you don't have to take as much as far as high dosing. And so it's definitely the thing that you should be doing. You should be taking. It's going to help your levels kind of get back to where they need to be. On average, the average adult is going to want to take about 4,000 to 5,000 international units a day. With kids, you're going to want to take for every 40 pounds, you're probably going to want around 1,000 international units. It's relatively easy to kind of get, but we, there's all kinds of good supplement companies out there. We're going to use Innate Choice is the one that we utilize. They have a newer product out that has a combination of vitamin D and omega-3 in it. And so it's really simple. You're just taking, if you're taking the liquid form, you're only taking 2 teaspoons a day. And so it's really simple to kind of do, to kind of help, get these levels back to where you want them to be. If you haven't already, I'd highly recommend, because I probably emailed you one, an HRA Pharma Health Risk Assessment. Go back in your email or give us a call or email us if you need us to resend it out to you, or if if you're not on our list and you want to kind of take one of these tests. This is a great test to kind of see where you are with your health. It'll look at all different aspects of your health. It takes only about 10 minutes to fill out, and you'll instantly get it back. You'll have all kinds of awesome results. Next Monday, we'll be doing a little hangout about this long, 10-15 minutes, to where we'll be talking about a little more details on that assessment. But if you want, just give us an email with all we need is your name, email address, and that's it. And we'll be able to send that out. And it's free right now, so there's no excuse why not to do it. But if you guys have any other questions about vitamin D, omega-3, go ahead, contact us, and we'll be happy to answer it. I'm Dr. Keith. Have an amazing day.